Well, hello friends, my name is Nick and today we have an unboxing. This big old box is chock full of grow lights from Soltech. If you've never heard of them before, you've probably already seen their signature grow lights on social media before. Full disclosure, I actually work for Soltech. I am their content creator, so I make all of their TikToks and their Instagram reels and all that good stuff. So I am technically paid by Soltech, but I am not being paid to make this video today. I was already receiving these lights for some projects I'm doing around my home and of course for getting content for Soltech, so I figured why not unbox them and share them with you all. Soltech is a small business run out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, so me as a Philadelphian, I consider them to be a local small business, which of course I love. There are only like 15 to 20 people who work for the company maximum, including myself, so you can know that you're supporting a small business if you do go ahead and purchase any lights from them. Us? I'm not really sure what to say. Some of the grow lights are even made in office in Bethlehem, which I think is pretty cool. I know inside this box there's at least one of every grow light that Soltech has to offer, so you're going to get familiar with their entire product line and get a little taste of each and every light. As of right now, there are 4 different grow lights in Soltech's product line, and each grow light is offered in black and white. But also keep your eyes peeled for some limited time colors that come out every so often. There might even be a couple available now. A wink. First, let's take a look at the original Soltech grow light, the aspect light. This is the grow light of theirs that you've most likely already seen on social media. This is a pendant style grow light, so it has a really sleek and simple design that really allows it to shine in pretty much any style of space, whether you're a minimalist or a maximalist. This grow light's going to fit your aesthetic. Soltech's grow lights originally caught my attention because, how do I say this nicely? There are a lot of bad grow lights on the market, like ugly, cheap looking grow lights that just don't work very well. I'll admit that my home was full of those crappy purple, red, and blue grow lights. Ugh, it was just so terrible. It wasn't until I first brought home a Soltech aspect light that I learned what a real good grow light is. The light color on it is so perfectly warm. It's exactly what all of my other lights are already in my home. Not that cool hue of white that sends shivers up and down my spine, or we already talked about the terrible purple colors. We're not doing those anymore. They're just so terrible. And not to mention that just one of these grow lights in your home can go a pretty long way. I already have a black aspect light in my home and I'm using it to illuminate a bunch of plants on a trellis that I have hanging up on my wall, which I think is a really fun niche way to display plants in your home. There's like 7 or 8 plants on the trellis, and I also have a couple more plants just incorporated onto the trellis, like mounted plants and air plants, and that aspect light is taking care of all of those house plants in comparison to some of those cheap grow lights that I've used in the past that are really only going to illuminate like 1 or 2 plants and barely keep them up to snuff. This aspect light is pretty easy to install. You will have to do a little bit of drilling or screwing into the wall or the ceiling, but there are a couple different options or ways that you can go about hanging it. They do include some wall fair leads and like a ceiling hook that you can use for the most simple way to install it. With my black aspect light, I'm using one of their recommended wall mounts, the Pinocchio wall mount. I'll leave that linked in the description below, as well as all of the grow lights that I'm talking about today. Oh, and if you want to save 15% on any of these grow lights, you can use code phillyfoliage, or you can click through the link in my description below. If you use that code to make a purchase or click through the affiliate link, then I will earn some commission. So a fantastic way to not only support a small company, but support a creator who's just trying his darndest. I'm just yapping away about this grow light. Let's go ahead and get inside this box so I can show you the damn thing. So here is the aspect light inside its packaging, what you would see if you were to open one yourself. I'm really digging this packaging. They've changed it since I received my last aspect light, so it's really awesome to see this foam-free packaging, a lot better for the environment. And it's got the monsteras etched on it. Like, are you kidding me? That's adorable. Let's go ahead and pull this guy out of here. So inside this box, sorry, I'm doing this one-handedly. It's not gonna be the easiest. We also are going to have our wall fair leads and our hook to hang it on the ceiling, as I mentioned prior, as well as an installation guide, but also a timer. So if you don't want to plug in and unplug your grow lights at the beginning and end of the day to turn them on and off, you can use the included outlet timer that Soltech includes with all of their lights that plug into the walls. Let's say you want to run your grow light from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's not a problem at all. You don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to turn it on. It'll turn on automatically and turn off at 6 p.m. Who would have known? As niche and fun as my whole wall trellis setup is, I'm admittedly getting a little bored of it. So what I think I'm gonna do with this aspect light is I'm gonna move the white trellis into my bedroom where I have my black greenhouse cabinet, and then move my black greenhouse cabinet underneath this black grow light, and then hang this white light above my trellis. I'm sure I'll include some shots of that as I'm talking about it right now so you can get an idea of what I'm thinking thinking visually, but I think this white light with the white trellis and the black light with the black greenhouse cabinet is going to be a match made in heaven and a much better way for me to utilize my aspect lights in the way that will really allow them to stand out in my home. I don't have anything picked out yet, but to hang this, since I'm not able to hang it from my ceiling, I think I'm going to either get a white Pinocchio mount from Soltech's website, or I might just run to my local hardware store or garden center and see if they have any like white wall brackets that would be used for hanging like a hanging planter or a lantern. I think that would work out perfectly. Next, let's open up Soltech's newest addition to their line of grow lights, which is the Grove LED bar light. I wasted way too much time yapping about the aspect light and not just pulling it out of the box, so let's just go ahead and get this Grove out immediately. So inside we have the main body of the bar light right here. You can see the light right here, and then this black part is the part that doesn't light up, as you can imagine. And included with this, we also have another outlet timer, but we need more than just this body right here. So there are two magnets that go onto the side of this, which not only allows this to turn on, but is going to allow us to mount our light to wherever the hell we want to be honest. There are two different ways that we can go about mounting the Grove. If you look at these brackets right here, there is a little bit of an adhesive covering. If we pull it off, the adhesive is exposed and we can go ahead and just place this on the wall or underneath the cabinets or inside our greenhouse cabinet. That's what I mostly use these for in my home. And then wherever we place it, our grow light will just stick there and live happily ever after. And while you're probably going to use the adhesive most often, if that's not an option for you, depending on the material where you're hanging it up, you can also screw this in to secure it to wherever you would like to hang it. And there are of course screws included in the box in case that's the route that you want to go. Just like the aspect light, the Grove features a contemporary sleek design that's going to complement practically any style of home. Whether you're a minimalist or you have a modern home or a boho home or cottagecore, the Grove can fit in seamlessly to your style. My favorite thing about the Grove is definitely the touch features. So once your Grove is plugged in, you can tap the body twice to turn it on and tap the body twice to turn it off. And while the Grove is on, you can tap it once and hold to either dim or brighten it. It's extremely easy to use. And while it includes the outlet timer, just like the aspect light, I honestly don't even use it. I love tapping it to turn it on and off. I just think it's a fun little feature that I personally just really enjoy. I have two greenhouse cabinets in my home. The one that I was talking about that I'm probably gonna switch with the trellis over here already has two Grove lights in it, but I have another auxiliary greenhouse cabinet, let's say, that I've been not really using as much. So I'm excited to put this Grove inside and allow me to utilize that space to grow a bunch more plants or turn into like a little ICU for my plants or something. I don't know, I have a couple ideas going on in my brain, but whether it's the greenhouse cabinet or not, this Grove grow light is going to allow me to turn a space that once was inhabitable for plants into somewhere where plants can absolutely thrive. And just like the aspect light, you can also use code phillyfoliage to save 15% on the Grove, just as you can with any of the other grow lights I'm going to talk about from Soltech in today's video. This next grow light is called the Vita. So this is essentially a grow light bulb that you can put in literally any traditional light fixture that you have in your home. So this is what we consider as Soltech's most versatile grow light, and we always stand a verse. This is essentially a grow light bulb that you can screw into any traditional light fixture. I'm loving these boxes. I feel like I'm proposing to you guys with grow lights. So this actually looks like it is the older design that we have of the Vita. So we just recently launched a new design of the Vita, which features like a spirally nature-inspired design of the grow light itself. It's not going to affect the actual features of the grow light. The only difference of the new Vita is that they're all dimmable, where in the past you had to order either a dimmable one or a non-dimmable one. So essentially they both work exactly the same. This is also the most inexpensive grow light that Soltech has to offer. So if you're looking to dip your toes into the waters of Soltech, or if you're on more of a budget but you want to give your plants the best lighting possible, I would highly recommend the Vita. I do kind of appreciate how, while this is still a very stylish and good looking grow light, the attention's kind of taken off of this light and put more onto the fixture that you have it in. So I absolutely love the aspect light. You guys know that at this point, but it's all about the aspect light whenever you have it hanging up in a display. It's what people are going to notice versus people might not even notice this grow light. They're going to look at the lamp that you have it in. So just a way that if you really want to set your space apart from others, the Vita is the best way to do that. And Soltech does offer these sockets that you can screw your Vita into so that you can hang it up and display it basically exactly as you would display the aspect light in your home. So if you really love the aspect light, but maybe it's a little out of your budget, the Vita is literally the perfect option. While the Vita is offered in both black and white colors, it's also going to be offered in both narrow beam and wide beam options. So the wide beam is going to be if you're illuminating houseplants that are only going to be like 1 to 3 feet away from your grow light, while narrow beam is going to be more necessary if you're caring for plants that are like 4 to 6 feet or even beyond that from your grow light. I haven't really decided what I want to do with this particular Vita yet. I think I'm kind of leaning towards keeping my eyes peeled at my local thrift stores, maybe particularly for like a table lamp that I could use to illuminate a couple plants on my desk. I think that would be a pretty unique way to use this, but as this is literally the most versatile grow light in existence, in my opinion, the options are quite literally endless. So we'll see what I do. I'll let you guys know. The last model of grow light that we're going to open today is probably what I would consider to be Soltech's most high-end product. The Highland lights are track lights, so they definitely require a little bit more installation and thought than any of the other lights that I was talking about today. Fortunately for me, the apartment that I'm renting already has track lighting installed, so I'm using these Highland lights to supplement some extra lighting to the plants that I have above my cabinets in my kitchen. But now I'm thinking about using these new ones for supplementing some light to the plants that I have growing on my kitchen counters. Because we're in the winter months right now and the sun is so low in the sky that sunlight is not permeating my home the way it used to, and the trees that I have growing on my kitchen counter are not getting a lick of sunlight, so I'm ready to change that like now. Just like the Vita grow lights, the Highlands are also offered in both wide beam and narrow beam, which I think is pretty awesome because then you can mix and match the types of beam that you have on your track lighting system. So for example, the 2 Highland lights that I already have installed in my kitchen are wide beams because they're taking care of the plants that are only about 2 feet away from them on the kitchen cabinets right there in front of the lights, while the 2 ones that I got, there's another one in this box by the way, 2 here, these are narrow beam, so I'm going to use those to face the other way towards my kitchen counter where the plants are probably like 6 feet away, if not like 8 feet away maximum, probably like 4 to 6 feet, I think I'm exaggerating. That's going to be much more appropriate for caring for those plants. And the best part is down the line, if I get even more plants, I can just put another Highland light up on that track lighting system and call it a day. One thing to just keep in mind is because I already have the track lighting system installed in my home, I only needed to get these grow lights as the light only. They are offered as both the light only option as well as an entire set, which is just going to include the track lighting system itself as well as however many lights that you choose to come with your set. And you could probably surmise at this point, but the Highland is also offered in both black and white. The design of the Highlands are extremely reminiscent to the aspect light, so if you like the aspect light, you're going to like the Highland lights. Because they are track lights, I think they do look just the slightest bit more high-end than the aspect lights, just in my own humble opinion. As you can see, they easily swivel almost all the way around and they can be moved up and down depending on the angle that you want them. So an extremely versatile light in a different way than the Grove and the Vita, but still versatile. The only issues I have with the Highland lights is actually nothing to do with the light whatsoever. It's my height and how difficult it is for me to get up to the track lighting system to change them out, but it's just one of those things I guess I need a nice tall man to help me out with. But yeah, I'm really excited about all these grow lights that I'm adding to my home. With each edition of these Soltech grow lights, I think I'm not only leveling up my space, but my indoor gardening skills as well. But that's going to do it for today's unboxing, chock full of incredible grow lights from an amazing local small business. Maybe I'm biased because I work for them, but truly no company that I've ever worked for has ever treated me as well or trusted me as much as Soltech does, so obviously there's a place in my heart for them. Also, don't forget that you can use code phillyfoliage to save 15% on any of the grow lights that I showed you in today's video, or you can click through the affiliate link that I have linked in my description below and make your purchases through that. And if you want to support Soltech and me even more, consider following us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and maybe even consider liking and commenting and sharing some of our posts and help make me look good, please. Thank you. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great time.